Hello, friend. Today I'm bringing you the, unfortunately, part 3 of the MDT video that you guys have part 1 of the MDT and create and manage and deploy an image. This is Microsoft Deployment Toolkits, and I did set up prior to that and install all these uh, apps that require to upload the image. Unfortunately, the part 2 of the video, and I was doing the imaging process. As you guys have seen it in video 2, it came up with the Windows script host error, and that kept persisting and persisting. And after further search and finding, I get to the point that that was something Microsoft, and there is a lot of articles that people wrote down, and there is a solutions actually, even if it's a temp solution, but it does actually work, I believe. And so this has been ongoing, and I hope Microsoft will be at the end realize it's been ongoing from probably September of 2023, and we're currently in January 2024, and the problem's still there. This is the problem, as this guy here says, the ADK is fine, nothing wrong with it. For the PE, the latest version of the PE is it's faulty. So basically, I have to what I've done in here. I didn't want to make halfway, half and half in here. Installing uninstalling the PE and leaving the old one. So what I've done, I removed the entire things and reinstated it back from the previous version, actually from May instead of September of 2023. So, and I'm an impression that is going to work, and I hope it will, and and get this over with. And again, I did not want it to have a third video, but it's unfortunate, but hopefully it will achieve the purpose and get you guys going, and hopefully it will help you down the road. So, folks, just a recap, small recap. As you guys know, I have my server here, and did have my the Windows Deployment Workbench and all the images and everything. As you guys recall from the previous video, everything is here. I have one applications, and the operating system is there, and I have a task sequence also ready, and monitoring, I set it up. All these things are up and running, and in the server manager also, you guys probably recall I have the Windows deployment services. I imported the under the server. I did uh, import the boot image. It's light touch 64, as you can see, PE, light touch Windows PE 64-bit. So it's all up and ready. So now is the time and the moment of truth. It's to basically what we need to do is upload the server here, or I'm sorry, upload Windows image. Matter of fact. So, friend, now we're gonna create the virtual machine. Basically, the way we've done it again in part 2. I'm gonna go ahead and click next, and I'm gonna go ahead and name it to Win Win 11, and I selected it Win 11 dash only demo, and you are free to choose whichever you prefer. And part 2 also, it's just a continuation, so although things have been changed, but that's what I'm planning to select to name. Okay, here's the things. I've seen a lot of comments somewhere and a lot of problems after I've done a lot of search on the MDT and ATK, and there's a problem with the generation 2 sometimes while doing these process. So what I can tell you, if this is failed during the process, we're gonna go ahead and delete everything and probably do the generation 1. But in the meantime, is generation 2 what I'm going for? And that's what I suggest for you guys. And for here, we'll give a 3 gig of RAM, and will be utilized all of it. I don't want it to do a dynamic memory for virtual machines. And I have, as you remember, I have an external internet switch, which I've showed you how to do that from the previous videos. And that's what I'm going to select for connections. And next, for size of the hard drive, I would go only 40. This is a testing environment. This is a lab. And I'm not going to go for bigger than that. And quite frankly, I don't have a space left on my hard drive. That's another thing. So I will select 40 gig. It's more than sufficient, I believe, and and that's what I'm going to put, and then I'll go next, and then I will select install operating system later. That's what I need to do because I don't want to do that. I want the system to first regenerate the virtual machines, and then I'll go and trigger it actually. And I'll go ahead and click on next, and then click on finished. And here we go. This is the VM right here, and as you can see, um, it's uh, it's loaded, but it's not started. We're gonna go ahead and do a start first, and let it let it start actually. And then I'll go ahead and do the connect. And as you know, this is going to go through folks, it's going to go through the Pixie process. Probably many of you are familiar. And it's going to start loading the files. And again, this is the moment of truth actually that I have previous videos. As you guys pretty much recall, it failed the process. Pretty much while it's loading the deployments process, it failed. And because of the Windows PE version. And that was the area which has failed. And so far it's going, that's very good. It's a good sign. And then I read around uh, a lot of comments on this part of the Microsoft Deployment Toolkit. There is on and off sometimes come up with a script error and something like this, which I'm not so worried about it because they told me like, you can press yes or close it afterward. I've seen it that, and possibly it's gonna come up at any minute that like one of these VS Code script or not the one we had before, but similar. So it's gonna say here is a processing, and now I'm gonna go ahead and pause back and forth. Hopefully this is going to be smooth sailing after remember I tweaked the rules, and it's not going to show up any user password anything like that. This is going to be smooth load image, because we've done a lot of tweaking, remember, to the bootstrap and other part of the rules, as you guys recall in part 2. And right now is just wait to load to the next stage, as you can see here. Okay, friend, this is what I was telling you about the script error, and most likely you're gonna guys encounter that on this kind of version of the WinPE or ADK. So you can click on yes or in here, yes, and also close that, and definitely select test sequence. Remember, we have a test sequence, and then that's what we're going to select. Now, this message, your error message, possibly is going to pop and back and forth, which I'm not, again, worry about it, and I'll show you. You can click yes and then close it, and it's not going to do any harm or be an obstacle to the process in here. And hopefully this is going to be fixed down the road, and it's not going to have any interference on the process. So I'm going to go ahead and select next. See here. And here, folks, remember what I've entered for you. When we did this when we did the rules, I have entered the organizational units. I have an administrator username as an administrator to add in, and I added the password on a Bootstrap. As you guys recall, this is my domain, Alpha Sky Tech, and I did inform you about that. And you can double check here and see everything intact as is perfectly. And the next stage will be here. And in my case, what I'd like to name the computer would be Win um, 11 dash demo, or Win 11 test. That's Win 11 test. I mean, demo, I've used it a lot. Probably the test is more like gonna be more resounding, maybe, or uh, more practical, probably. Win 11 test. And then after checking everything, you're gonna click on next. And again, here's the error that came up. Okay, so now the application. Remember when I put the WinZip, folks, and that's what you need to select, and that's what is gonna happen now. It's gonna upload the application. And here is the error again. And it's going to be ready to begin, and then we're going to click on begin. So the process officially started of deployment of the image, and it's going to go through a series of downloading. Same thing, you guys have seen it on when you do an ISO image on your computer. It's going to go through a lot of series of downloading stuff, and then here you go. I've seen it on the people with the image when they do the imaging process and testing. You've seen that before. It goes through a lot of process of testing, and I'm sorry, a process of loading and adding whatever in the test sequence, because remember, we selected test sequence here, and that's what's going to load here. It's going to load everything on the test sequence, and that's what is going to be going and loading the system for us. And that's what it's doing at this moment. So I'm gonna be pausing the video back and forth. I don't want it to make it long. This is, again, it should have been continuation of part 2, but unfortunately, because of that error come up previously from Microsoft on this application for the for the Microsoft deployment toolkits, who is now working specifically the Windows PE. That's why I have to do this extra part, part 3 of this video. As you can see, folks, still running, in here. This is the process of loading the image. And probably most of you are familiar as an admin and SCCM admins. Probably you guys know about those things which is going in the background when you upload the image in the task sequence in the SCCM, and that's also for the MDT Windows Deployment Toolkits here. So I'm gonna be pausing back and forth, you guys, friends, and then I'm gonna be come back on and off to get this up and running and finished hopefully soon. Okay, friend, and this is the first reboot I have here after the deployment process. I think it was finished, but I'm not sure. I think it's gonna go more. And now it's says getting ready, and we'll see here. All right, friends, it took some time, honestly, and it went for one restart. To be honest to you, it took about quietly about half an hour to upload. And as you can see, this is the first phase of Windows 11, checking for updates. You're probably familiar with these kind of screens. And it says here, making sure you have the latest and the greatest, of course, of Microsoft Windows 11. And again, the process takes some time, so it all depends on the speed of your computer, speed of your server, and all these kind of things. Does have a factor on the uploading the image through the MDT. So stay in here, and we'll see, and then we'll see what's gonna progress. Everything looks good. This is it, almost. We're done. It took a lot of time. So, if you can, I was pausing the video from on and off to save some times for you, but it took some times, honestly, about 45 minutes from the time it loaded until to this stage, matter of fact. And all depend on your speed of your computer, server, and all these kind of things has a factors, of course. Yeah. And it did another sign off, another reboot right now. And as you can see, folks, it says this might take a few minutes. Don't turn off your PC. As you can see, it's loaded, look like it's properly, and everything's as was planned. But it took a lot of time, so I'm just gonna give you a warning of that. It all depend on the speed of your computer, and this is again a test environment. This is only for testing. I'm not doing this for a real production area. This is just testing, and it's mimicking a real it mimics real production environment. Matter of fact, also. Okay, folks, and as you can see, we are in Windows 11 right here, up and running and loaded, as you can see, and did come up just a few minutes ago, and it says here is Windows 11 Enterprise. Um, and as you can see here in my Hyper-V is right here and running. As you can see, this is my server, and this is my other Windows client, and look like it's loaded successfully. And one thing I'd like to check before I proceed in here, and gonna need to see if it's did oh, well, I'm still doing some stuff in the background. Well, I'm gonna give it a few minutes here to finish cleanups, and that's normal, I believe. And I don't want to interrupt the process here. Okay, friends. So while I was like looking and browsing, it just rebooted again, and now it's going through. I believe to log in as an administrator, because as you guys remember, I did bypass uh, the password and did log in successfully. Okay, folks, and I rebooted and logged in by itself. It says again, I hope it's not going to restart again. It's doing a lot of tweaking, a lot of things, and uh, I found out here it's not joined to domain actually. So I may need to join it. Here we go. It's restarting again. Looks like there's a lot of things going on in the background, and it's still loading a lot of things. in here. And as you recall, I did add uh, administration password directly to the computer, and again we're gonna go and then look up the network. There you go. And I see a new progress right here. And install application. These are the application that remember uh, the 7-zip, and that's what it's doing right now, basically. And look like the process is going to take longer than was as anticipated, and that's what it's doing. So I'm not going to go ahead and interrupt it right now, and then let it. So the only thing says the computer did not join the domain. That's one of the things. So needs to be joined, and I'm gonna get the my DC domain controller IP address, and I have it to set up for this. I'm gonna go have it set up on the DSCP to be pointing at my domain controller. The DCP for this one, I would like to have it pointed to the domain controller, so it will be communicating 100% with that. And after it's gonna finish, I will show you that in a minute. And I've done that in the previous videos, I believe, folks, and it's a very simple process. It's not like something that you know needs a lot of effort. But yeah, I'm gonna let it to run and do its magic work, and we'll be hopefully finishing shortly. All right, folks, still ongoing. It says applying local GPOs packages in here. I'll let it run, and that's pretty much seems to be normal, and that's the way it should be. And let it finish. Probably is going to do another restart. That's anticipated, and we'll see how it's going to progress. Everything looks perfect, running the way it should be, and it took some times, but it did achieve the purpose and the goal. There we go, folks, and it says deployment summary. As you can see here, it says success. That's a good sign. Operating system deployed to completed successfully. The computer is now ready to use during the deployment process. Zero error. That's very uh, intriguing, and one warning were reported, which is good, and that's excellent, folks. And it says here try to join domains for again the for some reason I did not have the uh, the IP address pointing to my DC. So next I'm gonna do that. I'll show you that in a minute, and we'll be done with this. And again, this is part 3 of part 3 and final 3 of 3. I have part 1 of this deployment, part 2, and should have been part 2 only. And again, because of the error, I explained it to you, and this one here, and that's what caused all the problems. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is in here. So, folks, this is my domain, and this is the current deployment Windows 11, as you can see. And if I look at here, the way we can I don't want it to have it interfere with my IP. I have to disable the IP6 first. So folks, the reason is it didn't join my domain, so it's not pointing to that my domain, to my domain. So that's why that's the problem. And we can fix that very easy, and by going to the network and the internet, and to the Ethernet, and from here, gonna go to the DHCP. Edit. I'm gonna put it in manual IPv4, and then now I'm gonna go to my domain controller and basically point my Windows 11 to domain controller IP. So that's what is gonna acquire the IP address in here, and probably I may need to loop back this. That's also another possibility in here, but we will find out in a minute. So folks, for my domain controller, as you see, is the IP address is 10.0.0.183, and that's what I need the Windows 11 to be pointing to my domain controller. And I'm gonna click on save. All right, so we're gonna have okay, I'm gonna catch up the subnet mask. We can have that, and if we can add it in here. Sorry, folks, I selected the IP configuration instead of the DHCP. Gonna go to manual IP4 and 10.0.0.183, as you can see. And just double check 10.0.0.0. Everything looks great, and I'm gonna save that, and that's what it's gonna be pointing at right now. So the DHCP, actually, that's what I was planning. The DNS, I'm sorry, the DNS, that's what I was planning to get to, instead of the IP assignment automatic DHCP. The DNS for the Windows 11 needs to be pointing to my domain controller to acquire the IP address. That's to have a proper internet connectivity and to be joined. Matter of fact, that's more important part, is to join the domain controller, or my domain in here, which that's my domain, and that will be after I did. I'm gonna do the joining process, and supposedly to be joining the Active Directory in here and the domain eventually. Okay. All right, folks. One thing I've learned that the IPv6 interference with IPv4. So best things to do here, and again, IPv6 is going to be here either or, and a lot of companies that are utilizing that. But for now, for this, uh, we're using IPv4. So I need to disable that. So basically, I'm going to go to control panel and network sharing, and chain adapter settings, and we're going to go to properties in here, and we're going to pinpoint the IPv6 version and untick that on uncheck. So I'm going to make sure and go ahead, close everything in here. So we're going to go do CMD and enter, and IP config, Okay, folks, and still has not been refreshed. I need to just make sure again it's pointing to my domain controller, CMD. Okay. And this is not yet. So we're gonna go to again, make sure. So this are the things, folks. Okay, it says no internet cell in here. Um, I think I know the reason for this. Let me see here. Uh, and this shows right. Let's do another F3 in here, folks. IP. Okay. Still not pointing there. We're gonna do another troubleshooting. Right, and 0 days 3. Save. Maybe we may need to loop back, and that's what I have seen, folks. And maybe I'm gonna do a release and renew. All right, let's do a CMD. Okay, big flash. Okay, let's find out now, folks. I did the release. And could be we may do dense cleanup. That's another possibility in here. Let me see if I have internet. So, folks, maybe I'm gonna need probably a loop back on this. That's another possibility in here. Okay, so these are the things you may need to pinpoint and troubleshoot sometimes. And so we're gonna turn off this. Probably that was my maybe causing. And for this, gonna go manual now. These are the things could be that may all right, let's do it again. 10.0 row 3. Okay, so I have another extra zeros here. All right, let's do it again. It's 10. 0.0.183. You see, folks, here, save. All right. Folks. And okay, so now it's this pointing to that. That's more important. IP, the DNS is pointing to the right address, folks. But let me see. Yeah, we do have internet, I believe so. Let's go to Google. No, so probably I have to loop back this. And here, control panel, network sharing. Okay, folks, as you see, this sometimes can be challenging, and IPv4 10.0.0. So let me do a loop back on the Google. K, K, K. So most likely we're gonna have internet in here, and that's what I guessed it. We do have internet. Cool. And let me do a CMD. Still 195. Well, that's an IP registered with my S, but the preferred one, folks, is the most important part is the DNS is pointing to my domain controller, which that's what I need it to be. Matter of fact, in here, as you can see, that's what is been pointing to now. So I would be able to join this computer to my domain, and let me go ahead and try to do so. Okay. Take it. Okay. Let's see, folks, and I need to make sure it's pointing to that. So I went and folks, now I'm gonna go ahead and try to log into my domain with my credential. Okay. Backslash. You can see. And gaming. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my password. And as you can see, folks, it says welcome to alphaskytech.com domain. Okay, and it's gonna ask me to restart, as you guys all familiar with that. You know, go ahead and do that and reboot, and so officially I'll be joining to my domain in here. So, folks, this is the end of my videos, and again, it went about 40 minutes of recording, unfortunately, and it should have been like this, but you guys know what happened on part two of this video, and I'm gonna go ahead and log in here with my credential. Okay, there we go, folks. And if I go and check to which domain I am entitled to, is very simple. It's going to show um, Alpha Sky Tech. That's as a domain, um, as you can see. As you can see, you see that as the name of the computer, and that's the name of the domain. And you go to domain workgroup, and officially it is actually joined, and that's that's it. So, folks, this is Windows 11. I did the upload, and as you can see, it's up and running online, and it's working. I did the pointed to my domain successfully, and I joined it successfully, as you guys saw. Again, folks, I know it was a lengthy process, but this is the way it is. Sometimes things work with Microsoft. Sometimes they do tweak and repair, do things quickly, and sometimes it takes time. But I hope you enjoy, guys. This I would love. I'm very glad to bring you this video. I would um, appreciate your likes and subscribes. I know these videos will be great assets for you for the as in this learning module through my YouTube channel Alpha Sky Tech and alphaskytech.com, and I wish you the best. So again, I would appreciate your likes and subscribes, folks, and thank you for watching. Thank you and have a great day.